Hey guys, good afternoon, Ride the Wind. Wanted to get this out earlier, but I've been really busy on other things, and sorry I'm looking kind of revenant today. I guess I look revenant all the time, don't I? Um, Hello, good afternoon. My name is Daryl Johnson. I am Ride the Wind, and I focus on getting or my mission, my conviction, my purpose in life is to get the actual truth out there. The real truth and all of the truth. What we're going through right now. Wait. I want first. I want to thank my new friend requests and the people that I've sent requests to after examining your content and seeing who you are. Anybody who sees my videos and puts in a friend request, you can guarantee I'm going to do that. I'm going to check you out. You know, I know that a lot of you are bots. I know that a lot of you are women who need to make money. But don't come to me, okay? Because what I've done in life would make Caligula grin. You understand? So, please, okay? I'm trying to get the information out there. This is part two of what's really happening. Why we started with an impeachment that was a soap opera, probably written decades ago. In fact, I know it was written decades ago. Then we went to Iran. Okay. Then the Ukrainian jet, the firing on Israel's oil machine refinery, which we blamed on Iran, but I guess you could probably guess who really did it. The debates. And then we come up with the virus, where all of our rights have been literally stripped away. All of our releases have been taken. But we're going back, they say. I don't think it'll ever go back to the way it was, and we'll always have the mask wearers out there. What are you going to do? So the point being is, through these deceptions, they're doing one thing. They're hiding the reality of an event that approaches us, which will be beyond a catastrophic level event. It will be almost an extinction level event. It is not that, period. We have trains, as I stated before, a mile long, UN and US, traveling back and forth across the United States. Basically, they're setting up in golf fields right now, right? Every car has a tanker rocket launcher on it. If you don't believe me on that one, you need to go to Trumpet in Zion channel. He's disappeared on me because we started getting into the CV and getting doctors who were producing the truth. My phone was hacked. Everything he had, as far as our citations, our nation's best virologists, biologists, ER doctors with 40 plus years, all ripped from my phone. And I haven't talked to him since. I don't know where he went. But there's some videos still posted there, and it'll show you the military movement I'm talking about. So it's not actually on trains also. It's people catching these things with their phones on the highway. Convoys that are a few miles long. With more equipment, I mean, it just makes you shake watching. Okay? You've got Walmart's converting into FEMAs, and they very strategically do this. Like the one I was watching in Texas before I left. That would be the one on Altamira. If you want to Google Earth this thing, right? To see exactly what's going on, right? That will be on Altamira in Fort Worth. They set themselves up strategically. First thing they do, well, the first thing they pulled in Texas was they said there was a plumbing problem. That's how it started. And then they started converting to what they call FEMA/Walmart disaster relief. There are many pictures out there with these Walmarts filled with armor, tanks, rocket launchers. We had tanks roll in here, I think it was last April, actually roll down the main streets of Heber here. Okay? Nobody really bought me on that. They were like, hey, can't you get a picture? Really, I didn't want a picture. I heard it from enough people. I talked to a guy who was a soldier and part of Q, an actual part of Q. I still have his connection somewhere. And I was exactly right, anyway, about everything I was talking about. I do also have an astrophysicist, quantum physicist, who watches over what I do and shoots me that I'm doing right. And he shoots me if I'm doing wrong. He hasn't shot me that I'm doing wrong yet. So, my friend, my brother, if I'm doing anything wrong, let me know. I know you're watching. Okay? Apparently I'm not, because I haven't heard from you. So, thank you. I'm doing my research and I'm taking my data. Okay? So, what they do, the first thing, you can find a certain video out there where they have built cages out in the back. They're holding cages. A lot of razor wire. If you've been in prison or been locked up or been in a holding cage, you're going to know exactly what they are. A lot of cameras. Now, what's next to them strategically is the Naval Air Station, which was really kind of recently built before I left. Next to that is Lockheed. Across the street is a corporate airport. It's called NECAM, Meecham, NECAM Airport, right? It's a corporate airport. Now, when I was down there 3 years ago, in Saginaw, which is basically right across the highway, I identified German planes coming in, Canadian planes coming in, French planes coming in, white planes coming in. That's UN, right? They got the UN outside, makes it pretty clear, right? Basically took that airport over and militarized it. Now, what they also have is a train track next to them, because that's key also. Airport, train track, Naval Air Station. In the back, they have what looks like a pond. And some of you are going to know this already, okay? It looks like a pond, but it's like a ditch, but there's no water in it. It's like a grassy kind of knoll deal, okay? At one end of some of them, there's a tunnel to get to the underground highways they've been building for the last 50 years with our tax dollars. Yes, underground highways, cities on the ground, shelters on the ground, okay, that we paid for. You can find videos out there, 18-wheelers. In fact, right up here, I'm in the Ozark Mountains right now. Right across the Missouri border, probably a half hour from me, there's a shelter, and it's inside of a mountain, got big iron doors that they will weld shut when the event begins, okay? It's got every flag out there, too, from every nation on the globe. Pretty weird. But that's about a half hour from me. I don't want to see it. I don't need to see it. I've seen the videos. I've seen, who was it? Hogan. Who was it? Hogan that was driving down into him? I'm sorry. You know who I'm talking to. We talked about this. There's a famous wrestler, but he was doing an investigation. Blonde-haired guy, big, I'll think of it. But anyway, he was driving down in there and documenting what's going on down underground. Movie theaters, bars, everything that's been stripped from us, all of our releases, but let alone our rights were stripped from us. So nobody said crap about that. Where in the Constitution does it say that they can lock us all up or do what they're doing or make us wear masks? Where is that part that got added into the Constitution or executive ordered into that Constitution? So again, we do not stand. Another example of we do not stand. We did not stand when Barry was doing executive orders and blowing up Syria and Baghdad, and we sat back, like I posted today, with a nice cold icy beverage in our living room as they obliterated human beings. Not just the soldiers that they were after, but the men, women, and children who were innocent. And we watched it from our TV screen in our living room with a nice icy beverage and maybe a little snack. And people like to claim they're no part of this. They want to place blame on everybody else. We all accept blame on this one, because I could go on and on and on about things that we just stood back on. We just stood back. But again, that leads me into the people who think they're going to float away. We're all going to go through this like a big kumbaya session, okay? And nobody's clean. Nobody, okay? So, I keep saying okay, I'll try and stop saying that, okay? So no one's clean on that. That is my feeling, so that is my belief. We've all got a job to do, and that's stand up in a peaceful fashion. Because again, we've got a catastrophic event coming at us that they have been lying about for 50 years. 50 years they've been working on this with our money, not putting money into the infrastructure, yada, 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 because they knew it was all going to go down. So back to the pools behind Walmart. And I'm sorry I bounced around. I got notes here, but I'm just, I'm tired. Last 4 days, I probably worked like 15 hours a day, 18 hours a day, 4 hours of sleep. I wake up and it keeps going. And I need to get this done real quick. Okay. So I've told you the horror stories. The drain out back there, their drainage system do not go into the city drainage system. They have their own drainage system. They have gas chambers, guillotines, the most efficient way of taking out a human being, right? Where's that blood going to drain? Into that back pond. You feel me? Okay? Sam Walmart is the guy who ran the internment camps. I will repeat myself again, just so you guys are totally on point with what I'm saying. Ran the internment camps in World War II. He's the one who locked up the Japanese U.S. citizens that were innocent. Okay? All right, so let's talk about the new sign, the 13th sign that was announced yesterday by NASA. Gosh, I hope I got time. It's called Apinchus. And it falls in the slot between Scorpio and Sagittarius. It represents healing and light. It also represents the serpent. What it mostly represents is when I went and researched it, put in Ison and Apinchus, is that's where Ison comes from. So it's part of the Orion system. Ison is 3 asteroids, 10 times the size of the Earth, big magnets. But why the sun is now, and I checked it last night, it is pretty much in the north. And it is pretty much rising in the south. Clue number 1, okay? I don't mean to be smart, I just want to get this done, and I want people to know the truth. If we're going to run around like a hare's on fire, let's do it for the right reasons. Let's do it for truth, and that's not do what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to do. Let's unify. Hopefully this will bring purpose and the real actual awakening, because what's happening now is not an awakening. We're devolving from the collective that we're supposed to be. That's another video. Okay, so it goes from 11:29 to 12:17, so it's got a very short time frame. Now, let me tell you, there's 8 other constellations out there to be discovered. That would give you a total of 21 zodiac signs. Now, take everything like you do with code, and you put it in reverse. We're back to 12, 21, 12. Okay? So that's pretty trippy. That comes from the UK Express. I'm going to give a citation on that. That's where I got that. This was just announced yesterday. NASA has a new patch, but it's really not a new patch. It's the one they've actually had. They changed it about 6, maybe a year ago. It's got a B on it. Ison is a B. It's 3 asteroids, 1, 2, 3. And they're conducted by a debris field. Looks like melted silver in the sunset when you see it. When I first saw it 6 years ago, it was little. Now, it's big. It's real big. Okay? Just want to get that out there. That's what's going to pass by us, and it's not going to go to the right like it usually does, and we miss the debris field. It's going to cut to the left. It's going to stop the world from turning. Our magnetosphere is going to drop, okay? And we're going to go through its debris field, which is trillions of miles long. And again, we're going to get pelted with asteroids. I'm going to get more specific on what's actually going to happen in my last videos, okay? But tectonic plates were shift. We're talking about tsunamis. We're talking about the Earth stop turning, but you think the ocean's going to stop turning? No. No. And if we do not have a magnetosphere, we are wide open to galactic solar winds. We're open to plasma discharges. We're open to CMEs. We're open to coronal CMEs are coronal mass ejections, plasma discharges, stellar cores, okay, which is basically causing the light show and the smoke show that we're seeing out there right now because of the cloud system. Are you noticing that in the middle of the summer, we've got these bad storms? It's not climate change. It's because the poles are headed to the equators. And right now, magnetic north is in South Siberia. Check me on that. Look it up. And it's headed south. So what's eventually going to happen is the poles are going to be at the equator. And that's when the fun begins. Okay? So we got Apinchus, and it ties right to Ison. Day before, we're talking about Neowise. Now, Neowise, if you know prophecy, and I'll get more into it, they're making a big deal of it or whatever. But again, it's another sneak attack, like with Ison, where they renamed it. Said it broke up behind the sun. It did not. It moved the sun. They renamed it Wake Tuttle, and now it's named Wake Swift. I've got a NASA research paper that is titled Wake Swift / Ison. It did not break up behind the sun. And Soho captures are section captures of what this thing actually is. So I'll put those back up today so you can see them, because I've got now one with ENKE in it. Okay? So this is like tumblers clicking within an actual prophecy, and I can hear them. And you people who are actually 144s, nines, who perceive all 9 dimensions and create your reality or manifest your reality from those 9 dimensions instead of 3 like normal people do. I'm not going to say normal. We manifest our reality from all 9 dimensions, pretty much work like quantum computers. Okay? We have that ability. All of us have that ability if we rise to the collective and unite. And that's the way we need to unite, because we can actually speak on a different plane than these platforms of the beast, YouTube, Facebook machine. Does that make sense to you? Okay. Now, what I want to also talk about is I catch this thing over Russia. I've caught it for the last 2-3 years. It's a very, very large red object. And in front of it, there's a very, very clear red moon. Well, I'm going through today, and it's like these things are dropping in my lap, right? We've got a big issue with these big asteroids, Papas Regula Bennu, coming in, and how they're going to stop them, because they're headed right at us. And believe me, NASA's scratching their head trying to figure out how, tethering, blowing them up course, whatever the case may be. So, Didymos pops up, right? And I'm looking at the picture of the asteroid, and I'm looking at the picture of the round one. It has its own moon, right? It's the exact same capture that I've been capturing in Rostov, Russia, 1 a.m. Central Standard Time every night on my world cam system. So that's pretty much what I'm going to keep you up to. That's where I'm going to leave off today. That tumblers are clicking. And Didymos has gone from this very small, it's not shaped, but the huge part of it, the actual asteroid, isn't shaped round. It's got kind of a weird shape. And I wonder why I've never been able to define the outer edges, because it's all kind of scrunky. Okay? But the moon is very definable. And I've seen that thing actually light up. So I'm going to leave it with that. My name is Daryl Johnson, Ride the Wind. And if you refer to my last video, I want you to ask yourself, Obama put in the ability to use force by foreign and domestic troops into the Patriot Act. How come nobody's removed that? Like our current president, or any president thereafter, or anyone. Why is that still in the Patriot Act? Because that leaves us wide open. Force is a pretty broad term. I love you guys. My name is Ride the Wind. I am on the mission to digging this out. I am on the mission to helping you and giving you the truth. Please share, love each other is the main thing that we can do right now, is love each other and begin to unite and look for the truth. Find the truth. Don't believe anything you're hearing. Do not believe anything you're hearing. Do your own research. Create your own reality. Okay?